Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Alabama Goes to College 2021-2022 Celebration Day. Next slide. Before we start, wanted to go through housekeeping. Please keep your microphones on mute at all times to avoid feedback while speakers are speaking. This webinar, though we are not live streaming it, it'll be recorded and it'll be posted on Alabama Possible's YouTube channel. And as you're going through the presentation, if you have any questions, please make sure you put it throughout the meeting during on the chat feature, and we will get back to it if we have time, or else we will respond to it individually. So we cannot do all the work that we do without our sponsors. So at this moment, we would like to thank all our sponsors for believing in the work that we do and for funding it. Next, our partners. Without our partners at Alabama Commission on Higher Education, Alabama Community College System, Alabama State Department of Education, and Get Educated, it would be impossible for us to do all the work that we do. So we would like to take a moment to thank them. We are on social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter. We are on LinkedIn too. So if you want to follow us, please go ahead. It's at AL Goes to College or at Alabama Achieves, which is the State Department's tag. And as we have all these hashtags over here, please note that if you use Alabama Goes to College, Pell Yes, FAFSA, all those are national hashtags. So at times when you're sharing and using those tags, you could get some kind of national coverage too. So we encourage you all to use that as you are posting on social media about the work that you do. So this is the agenda right now, and we'll follow the agenda as printed. At this moment, I would like to invite our board chair, Ron Houston, to welcome us.
Well, thank you, Manisha. So on behalf of the board of directors and the tremendous team members at Alabama Possible, we'd like to welcome you to Alabama Goes to College Celebration Day, and what a wonderful day it is. The purpose of this campaign is to equip high school educators with the necessary tools, resources, and relationships to help these kids on their post-secondary journey. And so today, we want to recognize and acknowledge our counselors and our career coaches on their tremendous effort and their tireless dedication to help them on this particular pathway. We're so happy that you could be with us today. Hopefully you got a cup of coffee and you're going to be able to just enjoy this time with us as well. So at this time, thank you. And I'd like to turn it over to Nick Moore, who is our policy advisor and coordinator of the Governor's Office of Education and Workforce Transformation. Nick, it's all yours.
All right, well, good morning, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Houston, and would like to begin by thanking Ms. Scott and Ms. Mishra for the invitation today and to your board. And it's very exciting that we're gathered together to talk about something that's very important, high school secondary to post-secondary transitions, and we've got the right group of folks here with those of you that are leading this work every day. And so I want to begin by thanking you for everything that you're doing to help our state and to help Governor Ivey reach our success post-secondary attainment goal, and making sure that every one of our students graduates college and career ready and prepared to enter the workforce or go on to post-secondary education. And a lot of the work we've been working on together is showing that education and the workforce aren't mutually exclusive, that career pathways include academic and technical skills. And we're helping everyone to understand, not only in Alabama, but nationally, how career pathways connect learning, everything from dual enrollment to our in-school youth apprenticeship and work-based learning to the work that our community college partners are doing, secondary CTE, but all of this is leading to post-secondary excellence, and that every student gets to choose what their destination is going to be, whether that's a associate degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD. So the opportunities are absolutely limitless. And the work that our guidance counselors and career coaches are doing are making sure that all of those opportunities are transparent, because we know our students cannot be what they have not seen. And so making sure that career exploration and awareness and access is so important. So I want to turn things over here to Dr. Mackey by also saying thank you for your work to expand awareness of FAFSA and FAFSA completion. This year, we're very excited that we've got just about 60% of this year's class, might even be more now, that have completed the FAFSA. And we've also seen Alabama rise to #1 year-over-year growth for FAFSA, and that's due to your work, and I think #8 nationally as far as completion. So that's excellent news, and we've done this in a way that is rational and making sure that people understand that this is really about awareness and making sure that we're not leaving millions of dollars on the table, but also respecting privacy and the rights of every family to opt out of that without any questions asked. So that is a policy that, from what I have heard from colleagues nationally, a lot of people are paying attention to that. And sometimes the best praise is emulation. So I think we'll see many other states following Alabama's leadership in that regard. So thank you so much, and I'll turn it back to you.
First, I want to again thank Mr. Ron Houston for welcoming us and opening up this morning. And Nick, thank you so much for those words. You're definitely on spot there, that this work has really been focusing on really increasing the readiness of students across our state. And I have to say, I'm very proud to say we have the right leader at the helm, giving great attention and great focus around graduation high school rates, as well as post-secondary readiness and workforce readiness. And that's Dr. Mackey, who's our state superintendent. He has really given intent focus on this work, and not only just talking about, making sure the resources are there for our educators and for our students across the state. And so it is definitely my honor, my pleasure to be able to introduce to you this morning to be our keynote speaker, Dr. Mackey.
Well, thank you so much, Chandra. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. It's quite an honor to be among this group. I only wish that we could be there in person so I could personally look each counselor and career coach in the eye and say thank you for the work. As Mr. Moore's already pointed out, great statistics this year in our FAFSA. That is the work of really counselors and career coaches, teachers and administrators, I know, helping you and supporting you and helping students understand the opportunities out there to get money to go to school. And I spoke to a group of young people yesterday, some of your students at the Boys State gathering down in Troy, and I told them it makes no difference to me if they go to a 4-year school, a 2-year school, straight in the military, if they have a job right out of high school, matters not, as long as they have a career path and they're committed to it, and that's something they really want to do in life that obviously earn them money to take care of themselves. I want to say a big thank you to especially to Ron and to Manisha, to Chandra for the work that they have done through Alabama Possible in helping support our work in the schools. And there are 2 other folks on here. I wish I could call every name, but I've got to say a huge thank you in our department to Dr. Monica Mack and to Kathy Langford, who are on today. And those of you who do school counseling in the schools know they do amazing work every day supporting what you do in the schools. I'm going to tell you a little personal story. I'm not going to take a lot of time this morning, but some of you I've met in person. I'm watching. I've actually, while we've been starting, I've looked at the feed and I've seen counselors from all over the state. Some of you, again, I've met, some of you I've not, job coaches from all over the state. But of course, I'm the state superintendent of education, and I get recognized a lot. Even when I go out and wear sunglasses and a ball cap, sometimes I get recognized. And I love talking to folks. I always tell people, first and foremost, that I'm a teacher. because I believe that I'm a teacher deep down in my soul. I absolutely loved my time in the classroom. Probably a little bit crazy, but I think I could actually go back and be very happy teaching middle school again, close my door with those middle schoolers and spend some time with them. But I know how hard that is. I remember even when I was a young man, how I would go home at the end of the day completely worn out because you pour everything, your heart, mind, and soul into those young folks. And sometimes you see the difference, and sometimes you don't see the difference it makes for a long time down the road. But I've personally witnessed the change and the difference that counselors make in the lives of children. One, I'm going to go back to high school myself. In my own high school experience, I'm a first generation college graduate. Most of you have heard me maybe say that somewhere before, but I came from a great family, hardworking folks, but nobody in my family had ever gone to college. And it was not really an expectation that I needed to go to college. And there were lots of good jobs that didn't require that, but that's something I wanted to do. I wanted to be a teacher and had to go to college to do that. And it was my high school counselor who really guided me through that process, the process of applying, the process of writing my essay, the process of selecting a school, applying for scholarships. And look, I have great parents who love me and I love them, but they had never experienced that. So they didn't know how to help me through that process. And it was my high school counselor who made all the difference in my life and led me through that process. And then I was able to achieve that and become a high school chemistry and physics teacher, and then to move into school administration and on obviously to this job today. But I have to go back to the influence of that high school counselor and the work that she had, that she was willing to do, and that the time she invested in me. And just like the people I'm seeing on this screen, none of you actually have time to be here today. I can't believe there's 121 of you on here, and I appreciate that. But I know you're closing out the end of the year. You are getting people's transcripts who are trying to get into college. There are people tapping on your door right now because they're wanting you to help with next year's schedule, and you're trying to do next year's schedule too. You are being part-time assistant principals, sometimes all the way to full-time. Many of you are also testing coordinators. I get it. I mean, I know the work that you do, but I also know your heart, and your heart is that it's about children, that when a child comes to your door, no matter how busy you are with the other things that need to get done, you're focused on those children. And I want to pivot just a little bit to something I had not planned to say, but after last Tuesday's tragic events in Uvalde, Texas, I think I have to say, again, a big thank you to our counselors. We have been fortunate and we've been blessed that we have not had a mass problem shooting like that in an Alabama school. My heart is breaking as your heart is breaking for the folks there. And we've been meeting and trying to figure out what are things we can do, what are things we can do. We're going to do more. That things are going to continue to get better as far as our partnership with law enforcement. But let me tell you this, there is nobody more important in the lives of young people in preventing those kinds of issues than a school counselor and our career coaches too. We know, we met with state police yesterday, and we talked about, even though it's tragic and it is horrible that this thing has happened in Texas, we know we can actually count and quantify hundreds of cases that did not happen because a child who was in distress got the help that they needed. And more often than not, that comes from a school counselor. Maybe a teacher refers somebody to you, and then you're able to spend some time with that child and get them to a therapist, talk to their family, or whatever it is. And you know, it's not just about that. You have, I'm telling you, the folks on your screen and the people, other counselors out there, you have saved deaths by suicide. You have guided people into careers. You have gotten people out of poverty and into a pathway that would lead them to be self-sufficient, contributing citizens. You have changed people's lives, and you are changing people's lives each and every day. And when that stack of paper and IEP meetings you have to go to, and getting out all the transcripts you're getting out now and doing scheduling and those things, when those things become forefront in your mind, because they do in all of our minds, we all have lots of work that just has to be done. I hope that you will take a deep breath and sit back and remember the hundreds and probably thousands of lives that you have changed and have the opportunity to change and will continue to change because you invest in young people. You're providers of hope in the world. Several years ago, gosh, I forget now the name of it, but there was a national foundation that did some research into what can we do for a young person that we know will make them successful in the future. And when they looked at, obviously money makes a difference, your parents' background, your parents' education, those kind of things, where you go to school can make some difference. But none of those actually rose to the level of one thing, and that is, does a child see hope for their future? If they have hope for the future, they can see themselves on a pathway to success, then they were almost guaranteed to achieve that success in life, that they were going to be okay if they saw hope. The biggest problem that children faced is when they saw no hope, when they didn't get encouragement at home, and they had problems and struggles to the point that they felt hopeless. Then almost, I think it was over 90% of children either dropped out of school or failed to achieve their goals if they had a hopeless outlook on life. Folks, that's what you are doing. You are the givers of hope. And every child who walks through your door, and every child that completes that FAFSA, and every child who completes an application to a community college that they never thought they would go to, or a four-year college, they complete a scholarship form, they are getting some hope, and you are giving that to them. And so I cannot tell you enough how much I deeply appreciate the work that you do. I hope that, I know Mr. Stevens is on here now too, Sean Stevens, another one that does great work. And he has told me that this next year, cross our fingers, is hopefully going to be a time when our school counselors are going to get together. And I think our career coaches have a plan to get together in person too. And I have told them, if there's any way, those are two meetings I would love to make a short appearance at, because I would like to be able to say to you in person how much I appreciate you. And I'm going to close with this, how much I appreciate you, especially the last 2 years. So I mentioned the tragedy last week. Again, you've done great work in helping our young people. But the last 2 years have been momentous. Unprecedented is a word that's been used a lot of times, but they are unprecedented. I cannot think of a time that has been so disruptive to schools historically. I don't mean in my career, there's not been anything, but we look back, probably nothing since the Second World War has been so disruptive to high schools. And yet you have continued to push through. We have persevered. Our children continue to succeed and get scholarships, and they have hopes and dreams that they are pursuing. And again, that comes back to you. It is the work that you are doing in pushing out hope and giving children the opportunity to be successful in life. So thank you for especially what you've done the last 2 years. I hope I see you all in person soon. And then I leave you with encouragement. I know you got a lot of work to do. I don't want to get in the way, because you have to do work and I have to do work, but I beg you this. Sometime this summer, will you please go to the beach or go to the mountains or go do something that you want to do, and turn off your phone and take a deep breath and enjoy this God-given precious thing we call life. Thank you.
Dr. Mackey, I can't say thank you enough for one, coining the phrase that the counselors and career coaches across our state are givers of hope. That couldn't have been a better message to give to such people who work tirelessly and give so much of themselves without many people knowing it. It's not a job of praise. It's not a job of show. It, like you said, is really of the heart. And so thank you so much for coining that phrase that they are givers of hope. And I hope every one of you take his advice and take that much needed break that you deserve sometime over this summer, just to rejuvenate yourself. I mean, you give so much, and we want to make sure that you also pour back into yourself as well. Again, Dr. Mackey, thank you so much for being such a fearless leader for our state and for the students across our state, and for being that support and that voice for our educators, showing that, you know, they are great leaders themselves, and that you feel just as confident and proud of them, and you're always willing to share that and willing to spend time with them. One thing I have to say, you were probably one of the most superintendents, which is very rare for a state superintendent to be so accessible. You're always wanting to be on the ground amongst your educators, amongst those within your district across the state. And that is usually not the case for some state superintendents. So we're very fortunate to have you, Dr. Mackey, as our leader of education. And so again, I want to say thank you so much for being with us this morning. And I'm so happy to see that so many, 124 of you got to hear him today. So now I'm going to turn it over to Manisha to take us on through the rest of the day.
Thank you, Chandra. So it is my pleasure now to introduce our next speaker, Lisa Sommer King. Lisa King is the director of the American College Application Campaign at ACT's Center for Equity in Learning. She has dedicated the past 16 years of her career in supporting college access and success initiatives that close equity gaps for all students. Prior to joining ACT, King served local, state, and national nonprofits and education institutions through a communications consultancy, Lisa King Consulting, LLC. King holds a bachelor's degree from Central Michigan University, and she recently completed a master's degree in strategic communication at Michigan State University. All yours, Lisa.
Well, thank you for having me here today. And I feel honored that I get to follow Dr. Eric Mackey, and the remarks that he just gave really help set the stage of, you know, like he just said, we don't always get to recognize schools for the hard work that you're doing. And our campaign 3 years ago decided that we wanted to start recognizing the schools who are doing the work of helping students apply to college in our campaign efforts. And in the 3 years that we started doing these awards, the feedback that we've received from schools, I mean, they're shocked. They're like, is this really for us? Is you're so used to just kind of being behind those scenes and doing all this hard work and not always getting to have that recognition that there's people who are just genuinely surprised that it's for them, or that they didn't have to apply for the award themselves, that it was just, they were noticed for having done such great work. So I just first want to tell you a little bit about the American College Application Campaign. If you want to go to that next slide. Just so for those who may not be familiar with the national campaign and how it all connects to what you all do here in Alabama. So our campaign, we started back in 2005 at a Gear Up High School, who noticed a lot of students were submitting the FAFSA, but they weren't always applying to college. And then they would be like, wait, I did my FAFSA, but I don't actually have an application in. And so we started putting together the momentum of statewide and a national-wide campaign to support students in that application process. And you all know best that oftentimes students maybe don't apply to college because they're confused about the process. They don't have the time to do it. They don't know who to ask, or they just simply think they're not college material. And taking away those roadblocks and providing time and space during your school day for students to do at least one application helps them realize that they are college material, that there is a college for them, and that they can get this done with that assistance of a caring adult to help answer those confusing questions and make sure everything's submitted, the transcripts sent over, and they walk away really proud knowing that there's one college out there for them. Some of the events are able to do more than that, but we kind of ask schools to just give that time and space to help every graduating senior at least get that one application done. And we have been working in all 50 states and DC since about 2014 is when we went really nationwide. You want to go to that next slide? And our schools have really said kind of why they're doing this is it's showing that school-wide and community-wide commitment that that you're truly invested in the students' path for after high school, that you're helping them, you know, again, be committed to knowing what their education plans may be or their goals after high school and putting that in place. Just a little bit about our center, or the Center for Equity and Learning. So the American College Application Campaign, though we started kind of in 2005 at that one high school and became nationwide by 2014, we've been kind of, a grassroots campaign growing, supported by a number of organizations early on. But it was in 2019 that ACT reached out and wanted to kind of bring us in as a program of ACT. So I now, for the last few years, technically sit at ACT within their Center for Equity and Learning. And the center itself, as you can see here on the slide, that they're focused on ways to help close opportunity and outcome gaps for all individuals, but we're really focused on those students of color, students who may be the first in their family to go to college, families with economic challenges, and just those exceptional and diverse learners. Like really just looking at the students who have been systemically underserved, year after year. How do we start to really address what's causing those barriers and remove them, and shine a light on some of these barriers so that we can do a better job of helping all students see their pathway for learning. So the campaign, just to celebrate this year, I'm here to kind of help celebrate the school from your state, but nationwide, we had over 5,000 high schools participating. And we were really proud of this number because we know, again, the last few years with the pandemic, it's been hard to prioritize everything in this work, and to see still this many high schools stepping up and saying, we're gonna carve out this time and space during our day and help. As you can see here, over 222,000 students apply to college with 460,000 applications submitted. It's just incredible to see that. And I know Manisha and Dr. Mack will be talking through the Alabama numbers. So I'm just going to celebrate and show off the national numbers. I wanted to kind of show you just our growth of participating high schools over the years. Yes, the pandemic, if you want to go to that next slide, did impact us a little bit, but I'm excited to see that there is this, we're going to come back and have more schools joining. And I hope you'll, if you don't already participate in Alabama Goes to College, I hope that you will consider joining into those efforts. And then you can see part of what we do, if you go to the next slide, for participating students and applications. I like showing this because this really is about helping students who haven't done an application yet. And what we often see is really an average of 1.5 applications, that they're really doing 1 or 2 applications during these events. It's often that first application, and it gives them then the confidence to go out, and maybe they'll do more on their own after the fact, but it really is reaching students who didn't have one in place or didn't have that support system. We're not doing 10 applications, or it's not something that's going out of, kind of causing a huge burden on colleges by any means, but sending them applications to students who aren't serious. These are students who really were finding that right match and fit and applying to 1 or 2 colleges that they're really invested in. And we're excited to see, again, that has been true of really what we're doing and who we're supporting. I'm really proud of this number, just that we've helped 6.4 million, 3.9 million students submit 6.4 million applications since we began. I've been with the campaign since 2010. I'm from Michigan. I'm sitting in East Lansing, Michigan right now. So I started as our state campaign coordinator, and to just see how things have grown since I came into the application campaign, and now as director. It's just really exciting to know we've touched so many students' lives and helping them be on a journey. So now just the School of Excellence Awards. So this year we had 19 states that selected winners or helped us select winners across there, Alabama being one of our tried and true states who has done it for the last 3 years. The purpose of the award is to highlight that good and to celebrate our amazing educators who are dedicated to student success. We want to recognize the schools who are doing exemplary work and how to help students in the application process. So it's meant to be a way to just help, again, lift up those who are doing amazing work each year. If you want to jump to the next slide, or even to the next 2 here, because I just kind of I think those 2 are very similar. But again, it's about just supporting schools that are doing a great job in their states. We've started the awards in 2019 as a way, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, we wanted to acknowledge our schools and have a way to celebrate you. So we've had about 21 winners each year, 19 this year, and it's just been really exciting to do that. So if you want to jump to slide 13, I know I'm proud to acknowledge or to award the Andalusian High School this year's School of Excellence Award. As you can see here, there was 135 applications submitted, which was 98% of the graduating class, which is incredible. We know that, especially with students coming in and out still with some of the COVID implications that we've seen, it was hard for a lot of our schools to reach all their seniors. And so to see that type of reach to your schools was really amazing. We asked school counselor Tori Adams and the guidance aide Don Thomas and career coach Kelsey Scruggs some of their feedback on it. So I just want to kind of share why it was important to them that they participated and what they saw from their efforts this year. So Tori said, we want all of our seniors to be college and career ready. So we invited recruiters to speak to students, help students complete their applications, hosted Fafsa Nights for parents, and celebrated with I Applied Day on the front lawns of the schools with the school and community leaders. Seeing the teachers, parents, and community stakeholders come together to support students and their families was one of the most proud moments of our participation in this event. It was also encouraging to see the excitement that's generated in our students and in our community. By partnering with anyone that shares your passion to see students succeed, you'll take your events to the next level. Please involve your community. You'll also bring awareness of your school counseling program and the many services that we provide to students. So again, just these three being so proud of the work, and you should be. You've done such great work, as Eric said previously, of the thousands of lives that you're touching every day or every year as you do this work year after year. So just thank you for being a part of this and helping. We know the application process is one step along that way to college, but it's an important required step. If students don't apply, they can't go. And we're really appreciative of all of the high schools that are on today that take the time to participate in your campaigns to help students through that process. And then if I can just take one last little plug for all of you since you're here, if you want to go to the next slide. Part of how we celebrate the application process in the fall, this year will be on September 16th. We do a hashtag #WhyApply on social media. So if you personally use social media or if your high schools have it, we encourage you on that day just to start. It's a way to kick off the application season, to talk about why it's important to apply to college and really draw awareness. If we're all doing it on the same day, it'll help catch the eyes and it'll get a bit more busy for our students who might be watching us and following us. So I hope you'll join us on Why Apply Day to share your story of why you applied to college or why you do the job that you do to help students get to college every year. And the next slide just shows you an example of like the photos people post and do on social to get you inspired for that. And if you want to connect with the American College Application Campaign, the next slide just has our social media handles. That QR code will take you to the website, but I also have the URL there as well, so you can find me. But I'm so glad to be a part of this today and being here. Thank you, Manisha, Dr. Mack, for always inviting me. I got to do this last year too, and it's been really nice to, even though I'm not in Alabama, that I get to be kind of virtually with you all. So thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you for, we've always had a great time collaborating with your organization to, promote our college application across the state of Alabama. So thank you. And we will have our School of Excellence winner, Andalusia High School, Tori Adams will be presenting later on during our event. Now I would like to hand it over to our partnerships manager, Sandra Jackson.
Hello, everyone. As Manisha stated, my name is Sandra Jackson. I'm the partnerships manager at Alabama Possible. So we're going to do the year-end review, which will provide you with some information on why we do what we do and also some of the things that have been done during this past year. The work that Alabama Possible, that the work of the Alabama Goes to College campaign and the educators across the state is very important. As of 2018, only 45% of the Alabama workforce had a high value credential beyond the high school diploma. And as Nick Moore mentioned earlier, the Success Plus Attainment Goal Initiative of the Governor's Office aims to change that. They want to add as many as 500,000 highly skilled employees to the workforce by 2025. This initiative is directly supported by the work that we do at Alabama Possible. The Alabama Goes to College campaign is our post-secondary, if we achieve this goal, our post-secondary educational attainment rate would increase from 45% to around 60%. And the Alabama Goes to College campaign is one of the programs administered by Alabama Possible to help increase the post-secondary attainment goal. That campaign consists of 3 components. The first being our Cash for College, which is the FAFSA completion assistant component. And that the goal of that, the Cash for College, is for every graduating senior to complete the FAFSA. And research has shown that of the completers, over 90% of the people who complete the FAFSA, over 90% enroll in college in the fall of the year following their completion. So to assist in that effort, we provide webinars throughout the year, and these webinars are recorded and they're available on demand. So if you don't get a chance to attend the webinar, I say in person, but it's really virtual, then you can go at your leisure and watch these webinars on our YouTube channel. We also have a help desk that's available for students, parents, counselors, and career coaches who may need assistance in completing the FAFSA. We have a virtual assistance program so that students or parents, again, who have trouble completing the FAFSA, they can call the help desk or email Alabama Possible through our Alabama Goes to College email account to set up one-on-one sessions to get assistance in FAFSA completion. Our second component is the Alabama College Application Week, and that's held in the fall, usually in October, and it's also held in the spring. And the primary purpose of the Alabama College Application Week is to help those students navigate the college application process as well as the admissions process. And also one goal is to make sure that the students complete at least one college application during that time. And during college application week, some of the colleges waive the application fee. So the students get an opportunity to apply to the colleges without having to pay for the application fee. The other goal of the Alabama College Application Week is to increase the first generation low-income students in their pursuit of higher education. That's also, as mentioned earlier, part of the national effort. The third component of our campaign is the College and Career Decision Day. And the purpose of that is to help the students to celebrate their post-secondary decisions. We usually have celebrations with press conferences and all for the athletes who sign on to continue their education. But we also think it's important that for those students who are continuing their education in the academics to be celebrated as well. So whether that's them going to a 2-year college, a 4-year college, whether they signed up to get a skilled trade or some type of certification, or if they join the military, it's important to support those students and let them know that they have made a great decision and a big decision and that we're proud of them. So throughout the course of this webinar, you will see how each of these campaign components work to support educators as they assist students on the path towards those valuable post-secondary credentials. Next slide. So during the 2021-22 Alabama Goes to College campaign, we had over 360 high schools in all 67 counties to participate. And out of those, we had 48,176 high schoolers, which is an increase from last year. Both of those are increases from last year. So each year, the intent is to increase the participation. Next slide. So during the past year, we also had 12 professional development trainings with the viewership of over 2,300, including live and on demand. So again, if you didn't get a chance to attend one of the live sessions, webinars that we did, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch it. We also had 4 virtual community conversations. And these community conversations were made up of educators across the state who come together to discuss, to share strategies, to discuss opinions. These sessions are not recorded because we want the educators who participate to have an opportunity to be open and transparent, to get information and provide information that can be helpful. Those 4 conversations included building relationships with the class of 2022, creating partnerships in your school and in your community, prioritizing college-going activities and graduation requirements, and developing a culture of care while setting high expectations. So those were our 4 community conversations. And we also had the inaugural year for the Educator Advisory Council. And this is a diverse group of stakeholders. This year, it consisted of 6 members, but ordinarily it would be 7 members because the members come from the 7 workforce regions across the state. And these are the members who serve, the council members who served this year for our Educator Advisory Council. And so the goal of this group is to provide input on the planning strategy and facilitation of the Alabama Goes to College programming throughout the school year. We assemble a diverse group of stakeholders, again, from across the state, representing several geographies, racial makeup, ethnicities. We just want as many voices at the table as possible. So we offer a forum for them to come together and again, discuss opinions, share information, strategies, expertise, and things of that nature. Our community building conversations that I mentioned earlier, those were facilitated by our Educator Advisory Council. So if you want additional information, you can find it on our website, the Alabama Possible webpage, and also that'll give you additional information. If you're interested in applying next year, you'll get information on that once we get the application process started. The term is from August to June. So the application process would begin in August, and then you would participate throughout the year. So at this time, I will turn it over to May.
All right, thank you, Sandra. My name is May Whiting, and I am the Data and Research Manager at Alabama Possible. I'll be reviewing our Cash for College initiative, which of course is centered around completing the free application for federal student aid. So FAFSA completion, of course, has been a great focus for educators in Alabama this year. Y'all have been on the front lines of implementing the directives of the new statewide policy and have really committed to supporting your high school seniors with their financial aid applications. So I want to acknowledge the dedication of our educators who really are the driving force behind the positive results that we'll be displaying over the next few slides. So while this is the first year of the FAFSA policy, we know that there have been some challenges that have come your way, but you have worked diligently to host in-school and after-school workshops, to set up one-on-one appointments, to promote creative incentives, and really to communicate the importance of the FAFSA to families in your school's community. So looking at data through May 20th, so a few weeks back, for the high schools that are registered for our campaign, 55.3% of their seniors completed a FAFSA, meaning that during their first year of post-secondary education, these students will leverage an estimated $69.3 million in Pell Grant aid, which is need-based federal aid that does not have to be repaid. As many of you know, Pell Grant aid is the cornerstone of federal student aid and is absolutely essential to college access and affordability. So with this increased focus on the FAFSA, a record-breaking 213 high schools won our Best Hustle Award for improvement in early FAFSA completion. So that means 213 schools achieved an improvement of 10% or more when comparing the first 2 months of this year's FAFSA cycle to the first 2 months of last year's FAFSA cycle. Here you can see the change in number of award winners over the last 3 years. So in 2019, before the pandemic, of course, we had 120 schools win the award, which was incredibly exciting at the time. In 2020, COVID-19 greatly impacted education as a whole, and FAFSA completion certainly saw a downward trend, meaning only 51 schools won our award that year. But then in fall of 2021, we saw an incredible shift as educators worked tirelessly to raise awareness of the many financial aid opportunities the FAFSA affords. And Alabama students, as a result, got started on the application much earlier than usual. So we're so proud of the 213 schools that won this award. And we'll display those on the screen for you now. So here are the Best Hustle Award winners in alphabetical order. These slides will be made available after today's event so that you can view all of the schools. But again, this just provides a picture of how FAFSA completion went during October and November of this academic year. And then we also want to catch you up to where we are now. So we'll cover that on these next slides. If you could go forward. I don't know if it's giving you trouble, Keela. All right, yeah, so we are thrilled to announce that Alabama is top 10 in the nation for a few different FAFSA metrics. So we are currently ranked 7th in the nation for overall completion and 1st in the nation for year-over-year percentage change in FAFSA completion. Again, none of this would be possible without our high school educators and the community partners that they work with. You can find more details on the rankings through the National College Attainment Network's FAFSA tracker, and that is available at formyourfuture.org. I'm going to drop that in the chat for you. Also on that platform, you can find year-over-year percentage change in FAFSA completion by selected characteristics. So these 3 charts show Alabama's year-over-year improvement across the categories of school income level, concentration of students of color, and geographic locale. So you can see that in Alabama, low-income schools, high minority schools, and schools in towns and rural locales all had greater increases in FAFSA completion than their counterparts. And hopefully these positive changes among populations that historically had low FAFSA completion, hopefully these positive changes will play a part in closing equity gaps in post-secondary enrollment and attainment. So again, we applaud our educators for these achievements, despite the many challenges that this year presented. And we will cover this again towards the end of the presentation, but we would like to invite high school educators to a focus group where you can discuss your experiences supporting FAFSA completion this year. In particular, we'll spend a lot of time getting your feedback on tracking data related to FAFSA completion through the AIC portal that many of you use. So please join us for that opportunity later in the month of June as we work towards making next year's Alabama Goes to College campaign even more supportive for educators who are on the front lines of FAFSA completion. So I will now turn it over to Dr. Mack.
Good morning. I am Monica Mackey, and I am the state coordinator for our Alabama College Application Campaign. And as Sandra mentioned, we were able to host 2 college application campaigns this year. The first one was held in October, and then our second one was held in February. So with the help of our partners, we had 71 colleges and universities to waive their application fees to assist our students. And based on our data, we had 288 high schools to host a college application campaign event for this year. Next slide. And just to give you an overview of the numbers, we had 25,911 high school seniors to participate in these events with a total of 55,858 college applications submitted. So about 2 applications per student. We also had 63 of our high schools to have 100% of their seniors to complete a college application. Next slide. And as you can see, we have listed those high schools that have received 100% of their participation during the campaigns. And we also have listed our partners who allowed students to waive the application fee for this year. And our next college application campaign will be held October 17th through the 21st of 2022 And we will be sending out additional information soon so that you can prepare for that. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Keela Lawrence, and I serve as the Programs and Communications Specialist at Alabama Possible. I'll be covering College and Career Decision Day. I want to start with a quote from Dr. Mackey from earlier today. He said, he doesn't care where students go in as long as they have a career path and as long as they're committed to it. So I think when he said that, I'm like, that's exactly what College and Career Decision Day is. It celebrates a student's decision to pursue education past high school. That's whether they're going to a 2-year or 4-year institution, whether they're pursuing a certificate or a skill trade, or whether they're entering the military or the workforce. So this year we had a College and Career Decision Day raffle. You can see some of our winners here from Saraland High School, Shades Valley High School, Springville High School, and Zion Chapel School. So each of our winners, they tagged us in their social media. College and Career Decision Day is on or around May 1st. Now, it doesn't have to be on May 1st, but we just want you to celebrate your students' decisions. So at the end of April, we host a College and Career Decision Day webinar where we go over what College and Career Decision Day is, how you can celebrate it, who should be involved, and we even had a counselor come and speak and tell about the successes that they had during their College and Career Decision Day. So now I will turn it over to Manisha to announce our Cash for College Award winners.
Thank you, Keela. I wish Zoom had a drum roll right now. We really need that drum roll. But we are so excited to announce our winners. As you all had, some of you might already know who the winners are because we had a press conference acknowledging them. Next slide. So our Cash for College winners, MVPs are, and we actually break it down into 3 parts. So we do our school as per enrollment. So large schools, medium-sized schools, and small-sized school. So our MVPs, small-size schools are Geneva County High School. Casey Waters is the counselor there. Then medium-sized school, we have Ramsey High School. Dr. Stephen Tarver, he is going to be presenting. And among large schools, we have Hartselle High School, Corey Wilbanks will be presenting. For most improved as compared to last year, we have the winner from among small schools is Barber County High School. Tiffany Davis will be presenting. Medium size school, Woodlawn High School, Hope English will be presenting. And large school, we have Decatur High School as a winner, and Sarah Wood from Decatur High School will be presenting. So we will continue with the event as printed here. So we'll start off with Geneva County High School's presentation. Casey Waters, all yours.
Hey everybody, my name is Casey Waters. I've been the high school guidance counselor at Geneva County High School for the past 5 years. And for the first slide, you see our seniors this year. This was actually taken as part of our College and Career Decision Day. This group of kids have been great. We have 100% of our students that applied and were accepted to colleges. 100% of them actually received a CRI, College and Career Readiness Indicator, and 100%, you'll see more information about this the next slide, but 100% also FAFSA completion. So they have actually probably more than 100% because some of them are in school over the summer. So we had to do the FAFSA to work and match their summer classes too. So lots of success in this senior class. But I'll start with talking about the growth. You can see our 2020-2021 data. And I actually got this from the AIC portal. You know how parents, they live in the Power School portal. Well, I live in the AIC portal. And I really work hard on trying to keep up with that data. It's great because I can see what seniors I still need to target, what parents I still need to talk to. For 2020-2021, we had a cohort of 48. 85% of those completed FAFSAs. And then this year, it says 98%. We are at 100% for our cohort of 54 students. So yeah, great job to them, and it all has to do with our strategies for completion. I'd like to say we have 3 steps. First, there's awareness and preparedness. We have some great local partnerships, and of course, we offer some incentives and rewards for our seniors to just really help them get the motivation that they need to be able to complete their FAFSA. But let me start with talking about awareness and preparedness. So we have some great things happening at Geneva County High School. We are partnered with a local community college, Enterprise State Community Colleges. They bring FAFSA awareness through 2 programs that they serve at our schools. We have a college-bound program, and we also have ETS, or Educational Talent Search, that we're a part of. And as young as 8th grade, these students are hearing the word FAFSA. They're hearing that it's important. It's going to be something that they do their senior year. They're going to apply to colleges. They're going to get career readiness indicators, college readiness indicators, and they're going to complete that FAFSA to be ready. We have senior parent meetings. So starting at the beginning of the year, we meet with seniors and their parents. They understand our expectations. We have a great support staff with my principal and our senior sponsors and myself. All 3 of us really work together to get parents to buy into all the things that we want for our seniors to be successful when it comes to graduation. So at our senior parent meeting, we meet whole group, but then there are times throughout the year where we meet small group as well, or even one-on-one, to make sure that these students are able to get their FAFSA completed. Also, we have great career coach involvement. Our career coach is Nikki Dice, and she comes and actually helps our students understand how to create their FAFSA IDs. She takes them through that process. So we work together to make sure students understand they need a FAFSA ID, an FSA ID, and then their parents need one too. So those are just some of the things that we do to bring awareness and start preparing them at a young age. We also have some great local partnerships. Our GTEC, our technical center in our area, is our Geneva Regional Technical Center. They actually host a financial literacy workshop where they bring in several local bank representatives, and they take them through just all those financial things that kids just need to know about, how to get a loan, how credit works. But thankfully, they also talk to them about the importance of completing that FAFSA as well. Another, I mentioned earlier, another local partnership is Enterprise State Community College. They send representatives to us. We have a FAFSA Parent Night, and we have a FAFSA Day where parents are able to come at their convenience to just get that little extra help that they might need in completing the FAFSA. So I always say that they've got a financial aid expert, because I'm not the expert, but I'm so thankful that our community college sends someone to help with that. And last but not least, we definitely give incentives and rewards. Now, one of those is scholarship opportunities. Students that that completed the FAFSA, one of those scholarships is the College Count Scholarship through the Alabama State Treasury. And we actually, this is a picture of them. We had 8 seniors accept scholarships this year. We're really excited about that. So this is between $2,000 and $4,000 a student, and you've got to submit that essay or that student aid report for this scholarship. So a lot of them that are able to apply for this scholarship, they have the incentive to get that FAFSA done so that they have that opportunity. Another is we provide students that have completed the FAFSA a community learning day. So they don't necessarily have to report to campus that day. Instead, they're applying for scholarships, working, looking at colleges, volunteering. So they have a chance to participate in a community learning day, which is a really great incentive for them to not have to be on campus one day. So those are our three major strategies towards that FAFSA completion. Definitely takes a community to make that happen, and I appreciate all the support that we receive from not only our local school, but at our superintendent district level as well.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Stephen Tarver. I'm the senior guidance counselor here at Ramsey High School. You know, at Ramsey, as always, the expectation is that everyone attend college. So you can go to a first slide. You know, with that being said, you know, we always introduce FAFSA as early as the 9th grade. So what we do, you know, we have what we call a FAFSA mixer. This is the second year we've implemented this. So it's like a one-stop shop. So of course, you know, the first step is we go to a computer lab and everyone works in the FAFSA. And of course, we have the HBCU information center this year for the registration table. College Prep U, Mr. Jay Johnson. He is very, very, very instrumental. He's a good friend of Ramsey. They work well with us. We also have a scholarship table. The College Choice Foundation, they work very closely with our scholars, not only in preparing them for college, taking them on college visits, but they also have a strong hand in preparing them for the FAFSA, the different concepts of the FAFSA, and why is it so important for college completion. We also have a military table with the U.S. Army this year. And the main thing is the senior class info with our senior sponsors. So again, it was a one-stop shop, very highly successful event. Here are some pictures from the Fafsa Workshop on October 1st. Again, not only was Jay Johnson there, our community partners, Lawson State Community College, U.S. Air Force, also the Army National Guard was there as well. And again, Lawson State, with the help from College Prep U, they helped come into our computer lab and just facilitate the FAFSA process. And they were very helpful. I think we had maybe 109 parents to come in that day and complete FAFSA. So very, very, very successful event. Again, as far as our growth, you know, we were in the top 95th percentile, well, 95th percentile last year, and it increased to like 96% this year. But I think the main thing is just the prep work we have, just kind of implementing FAFSA throughout the school with the community, faculty, and staff members, stakeholders. And the main strategies that we implemented this year, again, was the FAFSA mixer that we had on October 1st. We also had incentive drawings throughout the district. The main thing, I know Professor Contact, they were tired of me, but I really had to call parents. But it worked. A lot of them came to a school, of course, for the FAFSA mixer, but a lot of them did complete it on their own. But we also, throughout the year, we had what you call a weekly FAFSA Blitz. So 1 week, Birmingham Promise representatives would come in. One Wednesday, then the other Wednesday, College Prep U would come in, and they started from October all the way up to the beginning of May. And it was very, very, very well received. Parents appreciated it, and it was well attended. So one strategy we also used, you know, we didn't want to interrupt instructional time. So what we had to do, we looked at schedules, and whatever elective a student had on their schedule, that's what we planned the Birmingham Promise or College Prep U to meet with those particular scholars. And we had a video to promote just the FAFSA and college application week incentives, initiatives rather. All right, well, hope you enjoyed the video, and that concludes our presentation.
I am Corey Wilbanks from Hartselle High School, and I just want to share a little bit about our process, how we increased our numbers, and what we did, what we look forward to doing next year to add to hopefully our completion rate next year to increase it. We have 252 seniors, and our completion rate went from 50% to 87%. And so we were really proud of that increase. The next slide, I'll talk a little bit about what we did to really help our students to understand why FAFSA was important. I started by meeting with the government and economics classes in September so that they understood early on in the school year that this was a graduation requirement and how important it was to get this done. So we did some FAFSA education, as I'll call it, and directly with our students. When I've just found that when working with that size senior class, it's super important that I'm meeting with small groups so that they understand what has to be done. Our principal was instrumental in sending out emails and text messages to parents so they also understood. And then our partner, we couldn't have done it without Calhoun Community College. You can see they were here on several different dates. So from October to November to December, and then January, February, and April to help us with FAFSA days. And those times on that date, we varied. We tried to do morning through afternoon, and then we would do afternoon through evening so that all of our parents could attend if needed. I also used the portal to help me really track students who had not completed the FAFSA so that they could, and so I would set them up an appointment during their elective and insist that they go and meet with the financial aid and admission reps from Calhoun so that they could at least get the process started, understand it more, even if they didn't have parent information, that at least started their process. So, and then in March, I met with students one-on-one who had not completed the FAFSA. So to really encourage them that last FAFSA day to get that scheduled. And so our students were great. They were super cooperative. And then, as far as the waivers went, obviously if families asked for a waiver early on, I gave that to them, but we really encouraged completion and didn't give the waivers out too early in the process. I think sometimes students will say, oh, well, that's the easy way out. So we really encouraged our students to get FAFSA done and didn't give them waivers just real early in the process so that they would say, oh, I just will do this instead. My parents will just sign this instead. So that's how we got our completion rate from 50 to 87%. And again, still lots of room for growth in that. I look forward to offering some incentives next year to hopefully encourage our students to get FAFSA done earlier. I would love to have, the majority of my students finished before FAFSA completed before we leave for Christmas break. So that is the goal, and look forward to encouraging our students to do that. We couldn't do it without partnership with our local community college. I just can't say enough good things about Calhoun and how they are willing to come and help, and they just are great with our students.
Okay, hi, I'm Tiffany Davis. I'm the school counselor at Barber County High School, where we are the home of the Jaguars. And so to start off, we with some numbers of why we were chosen as a small school with most improved. In 2020 to 2021, we had a 10.26% of students who had applied for FAFSA, and which really was like less than 5 applications. So this year we improved to 76.6% of students applying with FAFSA. So very excited. We still have room to grow, but that was major for us here at Barber County. So our strategies, go to the next slide. So first strategy that was implemented was in October. They held when I say they, because this particular night was my first day as school counselor here at Barber County. But they had a senior parent night where we have packets for each senior with their senior fees. They have packets with the FAFSA information, FSA ID, Army and military information. They had different HBCU information. It was information about the college week in each brochure. And there was someone on site from Wallace Community College to help parents and students with the FAFSA. That particular night, there was not a lot of participation. So moving forward, we held a FAFSA day. We had a FAFSA day, I think around, may have been around January. It was January. We had a FAFSA day where we had Wallace College. They partnered with us, and they were a major help to me and the students and parents. So Wallace on Wheels came and helped me along with our principal, Mrs. Tasha Kendrick, and we one-on-one. It was like somebody there helping each parent and student. They had a one-on-one help counselor helping them, filling out the FAFSA, linking their IRS information, and talking to them about, their plans after graduation. So we did that. And that was in March. And after that, what I did and what the principal did was we just called individuals that we did not reach or the parents that did not come in with their kids on that particular FAFSA day. We just called and made appointments for them to come in, and I helped get the rest of our seniors done. No one asked for waiver. Closer to graduation, the ones that waited closer to, that was kind of iffy on if they were graduating or not, still did not want a waiver. They wanted to fill out for the FAFSA. So the reason probably that it was not 100% was because of students that who just didn't come to school, that was not at the school every day and did an exit interview. But other than that, those other children that were in school every single day, everybody filled out a FAFSA form. So I look forward to, I appreciate everybody's the presentations, because now next year I would love to give incentives. And I think that would be very, very helpful for us to get and helpful for the students and making it more exciting. So thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Hope English. I'm from Woodline High School. I am the lead counselor there. What I can tell you is, while they're pulling up the presentation, is that we had district help with completing the FAFSA. The district supported us with incentives, incentives such as gift cards, such as game tickets to the Birmingham Squadron, to the SWAC championship. So we had a lot of district help. I also, for Woodlawn, we had our Mo Money Fafsa workshops during intercession, where we would bring the parents in and we would bring them to completion with the FAFSA. Also, another one of our strategies for success is communication. What I would do is I would send out mass emails to parents, letting them know, and we would have FAFSA Friday every single Friday. So we would send out emails to the parents, letting them know FAFSA Friday is coming, and FAFSA Friday turned into Make It Happen Monday, and Make It Happen Monday turned into We Apply Wednesday. So we generally had the campaign going all week long, but we were partnered with our community partners such as College Prep U, and you may have heard about College Prep U from Dr. Tarver, but they were big supporters in Birmingham City Schools. So they would come every Friday and help students and parents complete the FAFSA in our computer lab. Birmingham Promise will also come once a month to help the students with FAFSA completion. But we had call outs. I messaged students on Schoology. I direct messaged students on Schoology when it said that they needed a parent signature and maybe the student or parent didn't know that. So I sent them a direct message on Schoology. If they didn't get the direct message on Schoology, then I would send them a direct email. And then if they didn't get that, then I would make a personal phone call to our students. We did FAFSA Friday, every single Friday. And on Friday, we would go according to advisory, kind of like homeroom for everybody else. And so I would do at least 3 to 4 homerooms or advisories per Friday. And every Wednesday and Thursday, I would email the parents and I would call the parents, let them know that their child will be completing FAFSA this coming Friday. Make sure you send the information with them. And if they were not comfortable sending their information with their child, then I would also tell them to be ready and answer the phone when their child calls, because we needed to get this FAFSA done. So those are just a few strategies for success for Woodlawn. On the next slide, we'll talk about our growth. This is my first year here as lead counselor at Woodlawn High School. Last year, they had a completion rate of 18.93%. This year, our rate at the time of this study was 55.97%. That gave us an overall 195.59% increase from last year. And so that's where we are. And so I just ask for you just to pray for us, because we still have a long ways to go, but this is what we did this year.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Wood, and I am the senior counselor at Educator High School, and our growth was 100.63%. And something else I forgot to mention, this was my first year being a school counselor and my first year at Decatur High School. So when I came in, I leaned on some colleagues and reached out to other counselors and asked, okay, what's the first step? What do we do? And so the first thing that we did was in September, we went into the government and econ classes and created their FAFSA ID. So I took this form, I kind of did like a screenshot of it to put it in here so you could see it. Information needed to create your FAFSA PIN. They even listed their security questions, and the security questions were created for them. After each class, I collected all of the forms and kept them in a bright green binder for FAFSA. And that way, if they did forget their password, I had that for them, because that can happen from time to time. I had other counselors come and help me do this. Our career coach, Julia Agnew, came and helped me with this process, and we just kept it on file for them in case they, forgot their password or forgot their security questions. this was also a time that I could go in and explain. A lot of our students, they had no idea what FAFSA was. So this was a great opportunity for the counselors to go into the classroom and really talk about, the benefits of FAFSA and why they needed to do it. Not that it was just a graduation requirement, but that it could help them with their future. And even if they were not going to college, it would open doors and give them some options. Another thing that we did Fafsa Nights. We had a district-wide Fafsa night, which was really neat. That was, not just our school, but the whole district. We also had just our school had Fafsa days and Fafsa nights. Now, I found in my experience that most of the parents wanted to come during the day. I did not have a big turnout at night. And so what I did is I opened up, I used Google Appointments. And so I made a QR code where they could sign up so it could fit, their work schedule or their time of day. And then students could, coordinate with their teachers with what, like an elective that they wanted to come during the day or what block they wanted to come during the day. I set it every 10 minutes so I could maybe get 5 or 6 at a time, because it would take about 30 minutes, sometimes longer, just depending on how much information that they brought with them. I also had Calhoun Community College. They came and helped us and could not have done it without them. I did this in the fall, and then I also did this in the spring. And then about March, our career coach, Julie Agnew, she came in probably once a week, and we began tracking the students. So after second semester, I started tracking the students, and she helped me track them of what students completed, which students, maybe had a missing signature. And then she would come once a week and meet with those students and help them complete it. We also had an incentive. We offered an exam exemption for students that completed their FAFSA. So that was a huge incentive for students to get it done. Social media posts helped a lot, mainly just informing parents. Getting the communication is key. I heard someone else say that, and you are absolutely right. Communication is key. Next year for work, or for what I'd like to do next year, is add some more incentives. I've really enjoyed getting to see what you all have done at your schools. And I look forward. Oh, something else I did do, which I do think helped, is I made a trifold and set it up. I had like fake money hanging off of it, and I was going to put a picture in it, but I didn't want to, put too much in the slideshow. But I went during lunch to the cafeteria, and I set up a table, and I had kind of like a slideshow playing, and I had that trifold. So what this did is seniors had already heard about FAFSA because I had gone into their government and econ classes. But the underclassmen, I was kind of surprised, and I had no idea that this would even happen, but they started stopping by and kind of asking, what is that? And, it kind of got the buzz going. So they knew that when they were a senior, that this was something that they would have to complete. So I found that helpful, and just to kind of be visible, to answer questions and to help students start the process. But anyway, thank you so much for allowing me to share our success. And I really did enjoy seeing all of the ideas and what you guys did, your success at your school. I've learned a lot, and so I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Next, we would like to invite our School of Excellence winner, Andalusia High School.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to present. So I'll just go ahead. I think there were a lot of new people today. There were a lot of new things here in Alabama. I was also new at Andalusia High School. I've been a counselor for 3 years previous as an elementary counselor, but this was my first year at a high school. Taught high school before, so I was familiar with it, but it's a different beast from elementary counseling for sure. So I'll go through. Will you advance to the next slide, please? Okay, so what we really wanted to do as far as our college application week, like as soon as I got hired, I remember telling the guidance aide, hey, I really want to do this. Like I want to promote this at our school. And she's like, let's do it. So our vision was to celebrate our seniors being college and career ready. And we knew we had to get out and promote that. We had to get out and inform people. We had to encourage. And most of all, you have to celebrate people's successes. Everybody loves to be acknowledged for what they've done well. And so in August and September, immediately we started meeting with students. We started meeting with our teachers and our staff, and the guidance office just started discussing our college application week. What were we going to do and how were we going to implement it? October, as soon as the month rolled around, we had Fafsa Nights like all of you. I've just listened to all those wonderful ideas. We really partnered with a lot of different groups, especially the local community college. We held different Fafsa night events. We had just several different things, phone calls, and we tried to do as much of this during college application week because we wanted to get a plug in too with our parents so that we could tell them about what we were doing and that it was free to apply to college. And we know that informing our parents, if we could get them to understand the importance of an event, then we can really get a full buy-in from the students. And these are just things that we use to promote. We had full buy-in from the entire school, from administration, even to our cafeteria workers. Like everybody got involved. We sent out a schedule of events. We had visits from the local community college. We had teachers share about their college experiences. We were, our college attire. At the end, we had a big celebration, but it was a lot of communication, a lot of publicity. And I think the more that we got excited about it, the more the kids got excited about it as well. And these are just screenshots of different ways that we advertised everything. And once again, just motivating the students to get involved. You can see some of the different events. We had speakers come in. We helped them complete their applications in various classrooms. We had the little yard signs brought in for the front lawn on the school. And one thing about the little yard signs and stuff, the kids had no idea we were going to do all that. We wanted it to be a big surprise. We told them we had something for them. And so on Friday, when they rolled into the school, they got to see all of the excitement. And then I don't know if any of you have ever seen Andalusia High School, but it is an absolutely beautiful campus. The old building, which is what we're standing in front of in this picture, it's just it's really pretty. It's just one of those. It has this really traditional historic look. So we decided to do everything on the front lawn. Plus we're kind of located in a little neighborhood. So we thought people could drive by and see what we were doing, and that would hopefully get them, that would give us some more publicity. So this is just a picture of all the senior class out on the front lawn on our Friday celebration. And this is a video. We won't play this now. I have it included in everything. You're more than welcome to, and I have a link to my webpage and stuff. Please feel free to look through this. It has all of our what we did and the different events that we had throughout the week. And then one thing that was really important to us was to get our minority students to make sure that they were well represented as well, and that they had numerous opportunities for application, to apply, and we had some wonderful community members who offered to come in and really, educate our students and our parents. And so we had an HBCU fair, and we had alumni even take our students to an Alabama A&M game where scholarships were offered at the event. I mean, I cannot say enough about our community members and what they did to ensure that all of our students were given these opportunities. And by offering these little opportunities like the HBCU fair and the trip to Alabama A&M, some of our students that weren't even considering college took advantage of these opportunities during college application week to apply to college as a result. And this is kind of lengthy, so I won't read it all, but 88 seniors received in excess of $4 million in scholarship offers. And that goes back to the seeds that were planted during college application week. $4 million for a class of 137 students. That's just, I'm still, so excited about that number. 70% of those offers were accepted. Those scholarships came from 26 post-secondary institutions. And I mean, you can just look on down. We have so many students who are just set up for success as a result of this campaign. And I truly believe that this number would not have been possible had we not started and we didn't have the college application campaign week. And then, I think this was shared earlier, but just seeing everyone excited, and just encouraging our students and just seeing everyone come together. That's what this is about. And like Dr. Mackey said earlier, we are hope givers. And for these students, I believe they were inspired and they were given hope for their future. And I cannot say enough about the wonderful team I work with. In the top picture, that's me in the guidance aide. She is phenomenal. She is always willing to jump in and do anything. She taught English for years. She is the rock that I lean on in this position. Down to the bottom right, I didn't have a picture at the event because our career coach couldn't be there, but that's Kelsey Scruggs. She's a new career coach. She has years of wisdom. She's wonderful. And, just working with a team that believes in what you want to accomplish and that, is willing to work hard, we just accomplished some great things. And I think anybody can do that if they have the right team. And then finally, if you would like to reach out to me, I put my information out there. I'd love to hear from you, any questions or comments. And thank you all for your presentations. I've learned so much. I'll be able to do so many things better as a result of this.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. You dropped some nuggets from exam exemptions to different incentives from your student. I hope everyone took at least one thing and one different strategy with them. We know your schedules can get very, very busy during the school year. So we have some upcoming trainings. We wanted to get these dates to you as soon as we had them. We have the Alabama Educational Technology Conference from June 15th to 17th. We have the Mega Conference from July 11th through the 15th. We have the Alabama CTE Summer Conference from July 20th through the 22nd, as well as the Alabama School Counselor Association Virtual Learning Series in September, the new School Counselor and Career Coach Academy. We don't have the date just yet, but it will be in September and the location will be to be announced as well. And we also have the Alabama Counseling Association Fall Conference in November 16th through the 18th. So just a reminder, you all will get these presentations, so you will have these dates to be able to put it on your calendar in advance. Next steps for everyone on the call, please register for our 2022-23 Alabama Goes to College campaign. You'll be able to access it with this link. Also, we will have a focus group June 14th at 10 a.m. May did mention it earlier in the presentation, but we want to hear about your experience tracking FAFSA, and this will help us provide some clarity and be able to assist you and make tracking FAFSA easier. So please also register for that. And then you all can also register to be a part of the 2022-23 Educator Advisory Council. So this is a paid position, but it helps us to make sure that the campaign is best for our educators and that we're doing everything as possible to make sure we're supporting you and supporting your students. Now I will turn it over to May.
All right, we want to thank y'all again for spending your time with us today, and we would greatly appreciate it if you could provide your feedback on this event by completing our survey. If you are not a high school educator, this survey will only take you about 3 minutes. And then if you are a high school educator, we would like to learn more about your experience with the Alabama Goes to College campaign this past year. So in that case, the survey will take about 15 minutes. If you complete the survey, we will send you a free t-shirt along with our sincere gratitude. So I hope that's an incentive to get you to complete. Reminder just to our high school educators, you can claim your professional development hours by registering in PowerSchool. So you'll register with course number 280516 and section number 434138. Again, the only way to receive credit is to register in PowerSchool so that your attendance during this webinar can be matched with your PowerSchool registration. So you'll do that at the link seen on the screen. All right, so as we send you off into your summer, we would like y'all to be able to send your students our way by referring them to the Alabama Goes to College help desk. So we want you to be able to enjoy your time off from school, knowing that Alabama Goes to College is here to answer your students' questions about any part of the college planning process. So we assist graduating seniors with all kinds of summer enrollment tasks so that they can show up on campus or in their field this fall, ready to start their post-secondary journey. So I want to thank all of y'all who have entrusted us with your seniors this year. It has been a great honor to work directly with students and families all across the state through our help desk. You can continue to send them our way. They can call us or text us at 334-316-6155. And then please stay connected with us. You can reach us at the same phone number that I just listed. You can also email us at algoestocollege@alabamapossible.org. You'll receive a follow-up email with all this information at your fingertips, so don't hesitate to reply to that email if you have any questions. But most importantly, please take the summer to tend to yourself and your well-being. I will now turn it over to our Executive Director, Chandra Scott, for the closing remarks.
Thank you so much, May. First, I want to take a short moment to thank the Alabama Possible team for all the support that they have given you all throughout the year. They worked tirelessly over the summer to make sure they think of all the webinars that you'll need throughout the year. And so I just wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you, as well as to welcome our Stelly Fellow, Julia Laka, who's with us as well. So just again, all of this work that you receive, the support you get, all this sits on the shoulders of this team that is here with you from Alabama Possible. Again, congratulations to all of our winners today. You have been great exemplars to other counselors and career coaches across our state. I kept hearing the word team and learning from each other. I kept hearing it over and over in your presentations, and that just shows you, just the heart of each of you, and that I really appreciate you sharing your strategies, being selfless and showing that, other ways that other people can, take those ideas and make them work for their students on their campuses. So I really thank you for sharing all of your strategies. I want to also recognize some board members that we do have. We saw Mr. Ron Houston, who welcomed us and started us off today. Thank you so much for your tireless support and really being the rock of this organization, as well as Kathy Dean is on, who herself is a retired counselor from Sullivan High School, who was also once a winner. And so it's just amazing to see her now be a part of the Alabama Possible team. And so I just wanted to acknowledge the two of them and thank you both for being board members who truly support this work. I did want to recognize a couple of our partners who were on today. We have partners from the Alabama Community College System. I think I saw Olivier Charles on here, as well as I think I saw Taylor as well. And so I want to thank you both. We did road trips this year, going across the state, doing Fafsa workshops with their support at the community through the community college system. And so we can't thank their partnership enough. I saw so many of you list your local community colleges and four-year institutions as your partners. So smart to partner with them. And so I hope you have more and more of that success in the coming school year. Again, I want to remind what May mentioned, make sure you complete your survey. And then there's a second part too, and to make sure that we can get a t-shirt to you. So make sure once you finish the survey, you also complete the t-shirt order form, so we'll know where to send it, because the initial survey is anonymous. So we don't ask for identifying information, but for the t-shirt, we will obviously need your mailing address. So that is a separate form, as well as you will receive an Uber Eats voucher from us today. If not, definitely have it in the morning. Again, just as our appreciation, we know, just like Dr. Mackey shared, I'm sure you have plenty knocks on your doors while this has been going on. We've gone over time because there was so much to share, and you're still here. And so we want to just thank you so much for, hanging in there, being with us today, and helping us to celebrate all of you, all of your tireless efforts. And I have to say, I am just looking forward to what the next school year is going to bring after you all come back from your day at the beach, mountain, whatever you decided to do for your break, coming back rejuvenated for the next school year. But again, the Alabama Possible team is just indebted to you. And thank you so much for really leading our state in this efforts. The fact that we can say nationally, we're in the top 10 in FAFSA completion in both metrics is amazing. And it is all because of you. So again, thank you. And we wish all of you an amazing summer.